Okay, ready to dive into some alleged corporate espionage.
Always.
This one's got it all. Accusations of a mole, stolen secrets, even a bathroom standoff.
Oh, yeah. This Rippling versus Deel case is juicy.
Rippling and Deel, two big names in the global workforce management world.
That's right. Helping companies manage their global teams, the whole 9 yards.
And Rippling just dropped this complaint that reads like, I don't know, a corporate thriller.
I was thinking more like a detective's case file. They lay out their whole narrative, digital breadcrumbs and all.
Yeah, and it really shows how companies are trying to, protect their most valuable info in this digital Wild West.
Absolutely. Like, even little advantages can be worth millions in these markets.
Huge stakes. But before we get too deep, got to remind everyone, we're a news deep dive, not like lawyers or anything.
Right, not legal advice here.
This case is, still in its early stages, and we're going off of what Rippling's put out there publicly.
Exactly. Think of it like we're putting together a puzzle, and right now we've only got like half the pieces.
Perfect analogy. So first things first, who are these players?
Right. So Rippling and Deel, they're competitors, head to head in this specific market segment.
Offering software and services, all that.
And here's a twist. Deel was actually a Rippling customer up until like late 2022.
Oh, wow. So they had a front row seat to Rippling's playbook.
Potentially. And Rippling's claiming that right after that relationship ended, bam, Deel starts going after their trade secrets.
That's where this alleged inside man comes in.
Yeah, DS, that's what they're calling him in the complaint.
Well, global payroll compliance manager for Rippling sounds pretty normal.
Until you see what Rippling's alleging.
Which is?
November 2024, they say DS starts getting a little too curious.
Curious how?
Searching for Deel within Rippling systems, like a lot.
How much is a lot?
Try an average of 23 times per day.
Whoa. Red flag city.
And it gets juicier. Rippling's claiming DS was after their, crown jewels, sales and marketing info.
The good stuff.
Sales leads, how they turn those leads into customers, even documents on, Rippling's advantages over competitors.
So, imagine someone stealing your secret recipe, except it's all digital.
Yeah, and Rippling, they use Salesforce, Slack, Google Drive, all those big platforms, right?
For sharing info internally, yeah.
And those tools, they're powerful, but they can also be, vulnerable, especially if someone's got bad intentions.
So that's how DS was supposedly getting this info.
That's what Rippling says. They claim he was on these platforms constantly, previewing channels, downloading files, you name it.
And they've got, proof of this.
Oh, yeah, screenshots, logs, the whole shebang. They even say DS downloaded a specific document.
What document?
Rippling's competitive intelligence card on, guess who? Deel. But not any other competitors.
So, they had a shopping list.
Feels that way. Rippling also says DS wasn't just browsing, he was actively searching for stuff about their newest products.
The ones that compete directly with Deel.
Bingo. They've even got screenshots of his search history, pricing strategies, customer tactics, you name it.
Building a whole dossier.
And all while he's still employed by Rippling.
Okay, so we've got our alleged insider. He's accessing confidential stuff. But how do they tie him to Deel specifically?
Well, that's where things get even more interesting. Rippling says that back in December 2024, DS met with some Deel executives.
Caught red-handed, huh?
Well, not exactly. Rippling doesn't say, what they talked about, but they do say it happened right after DS accessed a bunch of sensitive documents.
About what?
Rippling's customer churn, basically how many customers are leaving them.
Oh, so that's valuable info if you're trying to, poach customers.
You got it. And remember, Deel used to be a Rippling customer, so they probably know how to use that info.
Just starting to feel like a real spy movie, huh?
Totally. But wait, there's more. Rippling also points to DS's searches for this company called Tinybird.
Tinybird.
A Deel customer. And here's the thing. Rippling says DS was searching for them before a big news story came out.
A news story about what?
Alleged sanctions violations by Deel.
So DS was looking into a Deel customer who was about to be in the news for, bad stuff.
That's what Rippling's saying. And it gets even crazier.
Oh boy, how?
They set a trap. A honeypot, they call it.
A what?
Basically, a fake piece of info to lure someone in.
Okay, so how'd they use it?
They made a fake Slack channel called #DDefectors.
Catchy.
And they mentioned it in a letter. But they only sent that letter to Deel executives and their lawyer.
So I wanted to see if someone at Deel would tell DS about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And guess what? Rippling says DS immediately searched for and accessed that fake channel.
Took the bait.
Hook, line, and sinker. Rippling says that proves he was taking orders from someone at Deel.
Wow. This is getting intense.
Oh, yeah. But remember, this is just Rippling's side.
Right. Deel hasn't spoken yet.
But anyway, Rippling took all this evidence, went to a court in Ireland, that's where DS is based,
Makes sense.
and they got an order to seize and inspect DS's phone.
Figured they'd want to see what else was on there.
But this is where it gets really wild.
I'll bet. Lay it on me.
So the court-appointed solicitor, they go to DS's place, right, to take the phone. And DS lies about where it is. Then, according to Rippling, he locks himself in the bathroom.
A bathroom standoff.
Seriously? Yeah. And the solicitor's like, dude, you're breaking a court order? This is bad.
I bet that got his attention.
You'd think. But DS just says, I'm willing to take that risk, and runs off.
He ran.
Fled the scene, like something out of a movie.
Wow. Okay, let's back up for a sec. We keep talking about these trade secrets. What exactly are we talking about?
Right. Well, you mentioned sales leads earlier. Those are like gold to a company like Rippling.
So it's not just any random list of names?
Nope. These are highly targeted potential customers, people they think are likely to buy their stuff.
So they spend time and money finding them. And losing them to a competitor would be, like, bad news.
Huge setback. And it's not just the names. It's all the info they have about them. Needs, budget, all that.
Like a treasure map leading to the treasure.
Perfect analogy. And Rippling says DS had access to all of that.
You also mentioned something called a sales pipeline. What is that exactly?
Think of it as their roadmap for turning leads into customers. Step-by-step process. How to engage them, figure out their needs, close the deal, the whole thing.
So it's not just about having a list of names. It's about knowing how to, like, work them.
Exactly. And Rippling's probably spent years perfecting their pipeline. It's how they make money.
So Deel getting a hold of that would be like, what's the word?
A shortcut to success.
That's the one.
And that's exactly what Rippling's alleging. They say Deel used that info to target their customers.
Oh, man. And what about those competitive intelligence cards? Those sound kind of cool.
They are basically documents that lay out how to beat specific competitors. Strengths, weaknesses, pricing, all that.
Like a battle plan.
Basically. And remember, Rippling says DS downloaded the card about Deel specifically.
Not just browsing, huh? Targeted attack.
That's their argument.
Yeah.
It's all starting to look pretty shady.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. But it does seem like all these little clues point to something bigger.
It does make you wonder how far some companies will go to win, you know?
And it's a good reminder about cybersecurity, right?
Okay, yeah.
Especially for companies that use, like, Salesforce and Slack.
Absolutely. If someone gets into those systems, it can be a real mess.
So we've got our alleged insider, we've got the stolen info. But what happens now? What could happen to Deel if all this is true?
Well, Rippling's going all in. They're asking for damages. And not just to cover their losses.
What else?
Punitive damages. They want to punish Deel for this.
I bet corporate espionage comes with some serious legal consequences.
Oh, yeah. Rippling even brought up ARCO.
ARCO, like the mob thing.
Yep. Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Originally for organized crime, but now they use it for financial fraud, too.
So they're saying Deel was basically running a criminal scheme to, like, screw them over.
That's the gist. And if Rippling wins, Deel could be in huge trouble. Big fines, maybe even criminal charges.
Wow. This could be a game changer for both companies and for the whole tech industry, really.
Absolutely. Everyone's watching this case. What happens here could set a precedent for, like, all future cases like this.
It's like a reminder that info is power, and you got to protect it.
You got that right. And speaking of information, did you know this whole deep dive was made with AI?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And hey, if you're finding all this espionage stuff interesting, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll have more deep dives coming your way.
And don't forget, this case is still unfolding. We'll keep you updated as things develop.
Okay, back to the case. Rippling's got a strong argument, right? But, like we said, we've only heard their side.
It's true. Deel hasn't had their chance to respond yet. They might have a totally different explanation for everything.
Right. Gotta stay neutral here. Can't jump to conclusions. So, what happens next? What should we be looking out for?
I mean, there are a few ways this could go. Deel could try to say that the info DS was looking at wasn't really that confidential.
Like it was just public knowledge.
Yeah, or that DS was just, doing his own thing, not taking orders from Deel.
A rogue employee.
Exactly. They could also go after that honeypot thing, say it was entrapment.
Oh, interesting. So they could try to downplay the info or blame it all on DS instead of the company.
Exactly. And they might try to pick apart all that digital evidence Rippling has, say it doesn't prove anything, or that Rippling's reading it wrong.
Classic legal strategy, right? Create doubt.
Exactly. It'll be interesting to see how Rippling fights back.
But beyond all the legal stuff, what does this mean for the tech industry?
This case is a big deal for cybersecurity. Shows how hard it is for companies to protect their secrets in this digital world.
Yeah, information is like currency now. Everyone's fighting for an edge.
Absolutely. This whole case could change how courts handle corporate espionage, especially with former customers or employees.
So companies got to be careful, right?
More than ever. Strong security, training for employees, clear rules about who can see what, it all matters.
You're right. It's not just about tech. It's about the whole company culture.
Yeah, making sure employees know how important this stuff is and that they can speak up if something seems fishy.
So big picture, what should our listeners take away from all this?
Cybersecurity is huge, and companies are going to crazy lengths to get ahead. This case is a warning for every business, even if Rippling's accusations turn out to be wrong.
So strong security, training, clear policies, it's all essential.
And for individuals, remember, be ethical. What you do has consequences. Breaking the rules can really come back to bite you.
All right, folks, there you have it. The Rippling versus Deel saga. We've looked at the evidence, the potential fallout, the whole 9 yards.
It's a wild story, and it's not over yet. We'll keep following it and let you know what happens.
In the meantime, stay safe, stay informed, and keep asking questions.
And if you found this deep dive interesting, hit that like button and subscribe for more. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the news. Until then, keep learning, keep exploring.
See you next time.